Um, we have about 28 to 30 people who've joined. Sir, perhaps we could begin. We expect another 20 or so to join over this session. We've put the message in the group.
Okay, so then should we start?
Yeah, I will give a short introduction to you, and after that we can start, sir, if
Sure,
that's okay.
definitely.
Okay. Dear participants, it's a privilege to introduce a leader today who's with us and will be speaking to us over the next hour or so. His career is a masterclass in versatility. It's spanned over 25 years of excellence across engineering, public administration, and strategic governance. Please join me in welcoming Sri Amitabh Ranjan ji. Amitabh Ranjan ji is the currently a registrar at the Indian Institute of Public Administration. His journey began as a petroleum engineering graduate from IIT Dhanbad, followed by an MBA in human resources. He's been across the globe, US, New Zealand, in his services. He's an alumnus of the NESA Center at the National Defense University in Washington. He brings a truly global perspective to local challenges enriched by academic engagements across Europe, Southeast Asia, and beyond. Mr. Ranjan has been a pioneer of digital transformation during his time with the government of Uttar Pradesh and the Ministry of Electronics and Information Technology. He was a driving force behind the computerization of the transport department and is credited with the pilot implementation of Vahan and Sarathi systems for vehicle registration and licensing that have become the backbone of digital transportation services in India. Without further ado, I would like to invite Sri Amitabh Ranjan ji to take today's session in grassroots implementation. Thank you, sir. Over to you.
Thank you, Navneet. Thank you very much for a very generous introduction. And I believe I am audible to all of you. Okay, great. So today's session, I have been asked to do on capacity building for last mile, empowerment of local communities, local people, and all these things. So I am really happy to be here. I must say that it is always enlightening to connect and interact with Gen Z because we are now in millennial categories. We are now considered as orthodox, conservative, but the Gen Z has a progressive mindset, progressive outlook, and it is always a very learning exercise to interact with the younger people. And so I'm really glad to be in this platform here and thank to the Think India and all the organizers for making me a part of this esteemed gathering. So friends, actually, we are now living in a very difficult times. Would have read the news just yesterday. Israel, USA, Iran war has started. Before that, Ukraine, Russia war, Gaza war, tariff war, we can say sometimes 26% tariff, sometimes 50% tariff. And it's really, I must say, it is a VUCA world that is volatile, uncertain, complex, and ambiguous world. And in this VUCA world, now how to survive and thrive? It is the $1 million question. In India, we have seen our rapid transformation, rapid progress, rapid economic growth, and India has this acumen of proving the economists wrong as far as economic progress is concerned, as far as empowering the marginalized and local population is concerned. And truly, we are progressing on path of Viksit Bharat. And what our Honorable Prime Minister once said, that Atmanirbhar Bharat, Agrani Bharat, Atulya Bharat. and in all spheres of life, like manufacturing industry. Presently, you would have seen the news of Prime Minister inaugurating the Sanand plant of semiconductor of Micron yesterday. And in all the field like renewable energy, then education, skill development, but then how to be strong at the grassroots level. This is the $1 million question. I would like to recite one Sanskrit shlok for you that Vanani dahto vahne sakha bhavati marutah. Vanani dahto vahne sakha bhavati marutah. Saev deepnashaya krishe kasyaste sohridam. That means that the fire that engulfs the jungle is helped by the wind, but the same wind puts out a little lamp. So that means that only the strong get the help. The weaks can't even get the help also. Like in case of jungle fire, and वही हवा जो है छोटे से दीपक को बुझा देती है. And we have seen this in case of Venezuela. What happened with the president of Venezuela, Maduro, and how he was imprisoned. And there were so many strong statements from many countries like Russia, China, everyone, but nothing could be done to help him. So that means that if we want to survive and thrive, we have to be strong. And how to be strong? Then we must empower our marginalized sections, our rural communities, our local communities, and what Gandhiji once said, that benefits to the last person in the queue. That is last mile connectivity. And so for this last mile connectivity, the capacity building of the local population, local communities, rural and marginalized sections are very necessary. And for this, there are so many pillars where we have to focus, like education, skill development, healthcare, digital transformation, water and electricity, energy, women empowerment. All these things we have to see, we have to think of capacity development in these areas so that we can prosper, we can be strong, Atmanirbhar and Viksit Bharat. So first in the line is education. Education is the backbone of any country, any developed society. And presently in primary education, we have around 25 crore of children going to schools. And around 2/3 of them are in rural areas, rural underdeveloped schools. But then how to empower those? Because they are there and they have to go there itself. But the government is doing so many things, like in national education policy, there are provision of online learning, online education. There is Diksha portal, that is digital infrastructure for knowledge sharing, where around 2.5 lakh piece of learning is there in 33 local languages, 33 Indian languages. Because National Education Policy 2020 also talks about learning in local language up to 5th class, then the forward-looking classes also, forward classes also. So children can learn as per their convenience, as per their language from Diksha portal. Then there is Swayam portal, Swayam online portal, Swayam Prabha, where 126 universities have 802 courses right now. And more than, say, you can say around 20 lakh children are benefiting from that Swayam and Swam Prabha portal. Then faculty and teacher development, National Education Policy talks about that also, that how to empower them, how to train them. And there is, you can say, Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan. Samagra Shiksha Abhiyan is there, and that is for monitoring the local education by parent communities, teachers communities, and local level communities, so that the children can be empowered through all this learning, classroom learning, online learning. Government has made provisions for providing smart TVs, digital classrooms, so that satellite connectivity of the gram panchayats also, so that the children can be learning at their own pace. Children can be imparted world-class education, like Navneet was saying about global for local. You mentioned in your address. So with global technologies, we have to empower the local communities. And with this education, education is the only key to the development of local and marginalized section. It is said, I would like again to share one Sanskrit shlok with you, that na chor haryam, na cha rajharyam, na bhatri bhajyam, na cha bhargari, na cha sa ev tvaye krite sarvadha vidya dhanam sarvapradhan. That means that चोर इसे चुरा नहीं सकते. It cannot be stolen by the thieves. कोई राजा इसे छीन नहीं सकता. No kings can snatch that away. It cannot be divided into the brothers and sisters, and it carries no weight also. And it is growing if you spend that. बांटने से ये बढ़ती है. That's why it is called Vidya Dhanam Sarvapradhanam. That is Vidya, knowledge, education is the greatest wealth. And we have to focus on education for capacity building of the local communities, grassroots communities, and last mile connectivity. But then, is education the last resort, the only means available? As per one survey of government survey itself, that someone want to come in the community. Okay. So as per one national education survey, 55% of the graduates of different courses, like not only for engineering, but ITIs, then IIMs or MBAs or normal graduates, 55% of them are only employable. That means 45% of them are unemployable. And as per one conservative estimate, 42% of the graduates are only employable. That means we can safely assume that around 50% of the graduates of different courses coming out of the schools and universities are unemployable. So that means we have to increase the employability also. That means we have to impart them with the skills so that they can achieve greater goals in the industry, in the society, in the community. I would like to share with you that डिग्रियां तो तालीम के खर्चों की रसीदें हैं. डिग्रियां तो तालीम के खर्चों की रसीदें हैं. इल्म वही है जो किरदार में झलकता है. इल्म वही है जो किरदार में झलकता है. That means degrees are only for your recognition, but it is the skill that defines your character. So skill is so necessary. And what we are doing for capacity building in the skill areas, skill field, Government of India has so many schemes like for rural areas, that is Deen Dayal Upadhyay, Gramin Kaushalya Yojana, DDU GKY. And this GKY has done a lot of wonders in rural areas. So far, more than 18 lakh rural students have been enrolled in that, have been trained in that, and more than 11.64 lakhs have been in job, either in some companies or in some, say, field or self-employed also, because it is developing the skill to be entrepreneur also, self-employment also. Because as our Honorable Prime Minister says that don't be a job seeker or job chaser, be a job creator. And that's why so many skill development schemes are there, like Pradhan Mantri Kaushal Vikas Yojana. This is also there. Then Pradhan Mantri Internship Scheme. You would have seen that graduates coming out of that to be provided 12-month internship in top 500 companies, where government will give rupees 5,000 per month and one-time grant of 6,000 rupees also. And so all these schemes are for the empowerment of not only rural and local communities, but for so many others also. Like say, one scheme is there, PM Vishwakarma scheme. Pradhan Mantri Vishwakarma scheme is there. That is for rural artisans, rural skilled workers, for empowering them, enhancing their capacity, for capacity building, and so that their products can be globalized. The products made through their skill at local level can find a place at global level also. Export-oriented market, not only in India, but abroad also. So there are all these things that are in the skill development field, so that our youth can be made employable, can find a place, good place in the society. And you can say that these schemes are doing very good as far as our rural communities areas are concerned. Then there is one scheme probably students might not be knowing, that is VVP, Vibrant Villages Program. Vibrant Villages Program is a very ambitious scheme of Government of India that is for border areas, like on, say, Indo-China border or Indo-Pakistan border. The states are there, hill states are there from, say, Gujarat, Rajasthan, Punjab, Jammu Kashmir, Ladakh, Uttarakhand, Himachal Pradesh, Sikkim, Arunachal Pradesh, then Manipur, Nagaland, Tripura. In all these areas, this scheme runs. And why this scheme is important? Because this talks about saturation. Probably you might not have known or remembered, in 1985, the year was 1985, when our Prime Minister at that time said that when some benefits are released from Delhi, by Government of India, for the beneficiaries, only 15% reaches the target beneficiary, but 85% of that benefit is siphoned off in the middle by middleman, by leakages, and all these things. But Vibrant Villages program aims to saturate this thing. Great. Aditya is saying that he is from Tripura and he has seen this scheme. Actually, this is such a, earlier it was a trickle down approach. Now it is a waterfall approach. That if some village, because border areas and border villages are our first line of defense. You would have seen in the news or read somewhere that when Kargil happened in 1999, then it were the border area people at Ladakh who alerted the Indian army that there is some suspicious movement going on from Pakistan side. So border areas, border villages, border communities are our first line of defense. And that's why saturation is so important. People are migrating from there. So border areas are now being vacant, and we have to rehabilitate them there. That's why if some village wants one school, give them two schools. If some village want 5 teachers, give them 10 teachers, so that people can get all these facilities for urban areas in their villages, in their rural areas itself, so that they should not out migrate. And that's why the border area development is so necessary. And BVP is doing a lot of wonders in the border areas now. And this scheme should be replicated in all the rural areas, but then probably funds, etc., are also a constraint. That's why it has not been replicated so far in other areas. But it is working very good there. And coupled with that, I will deal it in a different section. So this is in a nutshell how skill development is being done and capacity building at the marginalized section, at the rural areas, and last mile connectivity is being provided. Now, from the time immemorial, we have been listening about that sound mind in a sound body. So if the body is sound, then our mind will be also sound, because health is wealth. So healthcare is also very necessary. And in the rural areas or the marginalized sections, communities, at last mile, healthcare is a problem. Good healthcare. Because earlier PHCs were there, like primary healthcare centers, or CHC where community healthcare centers were there. But then those were not very equipped. Doctors were not there. Medicines were not there. But then Prime Minister Jan Arogya Yojana has been launched, PMJ. Under this, now Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission is there. And it is covering per household rupees 5 lakh. And so far, 12 crore households or around 42 crore people have been enrolled in Pradhan Mantri, this Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission. And it talks about one nation, one health card also, that is Abha ID. Ayushman Bharat Health Account. Probably you would have heard somewhere about that a patient cured is a customer lost. It is a normal notion about the medical thing that you go to a hospital and they will test you and keep all the records there. And wherever you require, you have to go to that hospital also itself. And you cannot get rid of that hospital or that doctor for your lifetime. And that's why Abha ID is being created, so that the people can access their health records anywhere Achal is saying that Ayushman Bharat is really helpful. Thank you, Achal. Thank you so much. And that's why this Abha ID is so necessary, so that people can fetch their medical records anywhere they can go. And because they don't have to do all the testings again, they don't have to fetch their records. Aditya is also saying that Northeast Ayushman Bharat Digital Health Mission is very successful. Great. Thank you very much for the feedback. Hmm. And these are some of the success stories as far as health mission is concerned. Then there is e-Sanjeevani scheme. E-Sanjeevani scheme is telemedicine portal, tele-consultation portal, where people can consult the doctors, consult the hospitals from remote. And so far, 16 crore of people have taken the benefit of e-Sanjeevani scheme. Then Mission Indradhanush is there. Mission Indradhanush for immunization, or Janani Suraksha Yojana in rural areas for maternal benefits. Because we know that our infant mortality rate was so high earlier. And during the delivery, the mother was also at risk. But due to this Janani Suraksha Yojana, now the mother and child both are largely safe, and it has done a lot of wonders to the rural population and marginalized sections. Then Rashtriya Bal Swasthya Mission is also there for children benefit. And there is one more scheme for this, that is NSS, National Service Scheme. Some of you might have, Aditya is again saying that JSY had helped a lot. Thank you, Aditya. So probably some of you might have been registered in NSS also, National Service Scheme. Has any one of you is a registered volunteer under NSS scheme, National Service Scheme? Because it is running in so many colleges, universities. It is okay. Shubhangi is there, who is registered under NSS. So NSS is for capacity building of the students itself through the interaction of rural communities, local communities, and through this volunteership, the kids or the students are learning empathy, sympathy, and how to work in a team building, developing leadership qualities. This NSS scheme is serving a lot of benefits in one scheme itself. And it is very, I would request all of you, if there is NSS scheme in your college or university, so please register in that. Because it is not only for benefit of the local communities or local population, but it at the same time, it benefits the students also. So this scheme is a very ambitious scheme of Government of India. Now, how all this, say, skill development or education is possible if we don't have, say, digital connectivity? And in the field of digital transformation, India is marching ahead. Our DPI is one of the strongest and one of the most robust in the world, digital public infrastructure. You would have seen the power of UPI. UPI is now running in 9 countries, not only in India, but Nepal, Bhutan, Mauritius, Sri Lanka, UAE, Qatar. Then you can pay the fees of Eiffel Tower also through UPI. And in the temples or for the sabji vendors, they all are having QR code now. Even beggars are having the QR code. You won't be having any excuse that I don't have change. They will show the QR code. Okay, then pay through UPI. So this is the power of the UPI, that, and now UPI is say 27 billion transactions per month to the volume of say 21.5 lakh crore rupees are transacted through UPI per month. And now we are talking about integration of so many foreign systems like Brazil PIX, or we are talking to Nepal also, Bhutan also, to integrate the digital payment systems through UPI. And not only UPI, DigiLocker is there for your certificates, DigiYatra. Some of you might have traveled through air also. So have you experienced the power of DigiYatra? Earlier, you would have been in line, queue, showing your Aadhaar card, your boarding passes, but nothing is necessary now. बस सिर्फ कैमरे को आंख दिखानी है and all the doors will be open for you. So fast check-in at for Aditya is again saying. So Aditya, you have experienced great things now. So DigiYatra now, after say ease of doing business, we have been hearing ease of living. Now it is ease of flying also through DigiYatra. And DigiYatra is our indigenous innovation. It is one of the first of its kind in whole of the world, DigiYatra. So all this digital infrastructure, then there is for rural areas, it is BharatNet. BharatNet is of the Ministry of Information. Achal is also saying that Digiyatra is, yes, senior citizens are also using. And in fact, in digital also, I was saying about that this pension scheme, that now senior citizens don't have to go to banks, don't have to go to their offices for their pension. They can just do the from the video itself. They can register themselves. They can give their life certificate that they are required to give every November and December. So by sitting in the comfort of their home, they can use this pension facility, a digital facility, Jivan Praman. Yes, Jivan Praman is the name. I was going to say that, Jivan Praman. And seniors, it has done a lot of wonders as far as senior citizens are concerned. CSC centers, community service centers are there in the villages. Now there are around 5.67 lakh CSC in the villages in rural areas, providing seamless services like utility bill payments, electricity bill payment, water bill payment, your digital land records, each and everything you can access through CSC. And through BharatNet, BharatNet has say integrated more than 2.25 lakh gram panchayats in India right now. And more than 11.6 lakh households have been covered through BharatNet, and it has become a boon for the rural areas. And through this, CSC has got seamless connectivity. Then PMG Disha, that is Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan is there. And 6.39 crore of rural population have been there learning through PMG Disha, have taken benefit of about that. Then for farmers, you can say farmers is a very big community in rural areas. And for farmers, there are so many apps like Kisan Mitra, then Kisan Mitra, yes, Disha has helping women empowerment also in rural areas, and Kisan Mitra is there helping the farmers. Then there are so many localized apps like Bihan, that is in Bihar, it is running Bihar Horticulture, Agriculture, and Natural Resource Management app, and it has integrated all the weather forecasting system, cropping pattern system, soil pattern system, each and everything where farmers can access all these information and benefit a lot. So this our digital stack, India stack, is doing a lot of wonders as far as our empowerment is concerned of local communities, of local areas, and it is growing itself. Like you can say, just now the Stanford Index, AI Index has been released, and India is now at number 3 as far as a Stanford AI Vibrancy Index is concerned. In 2024, it was 4th. Now it has jumped one spot ahead. In 2025, it is at number 3. And as far as AI skill penetration is concerned, India is at top of the table. And National Semiconductor Mission, India AI Mission of providing GPUs, 1 lakh GPUs for computing, faster computing. National Quantum Mission of rupees 8,000 crore is there for next level of computing, and allied with this National Critical Mineral Mission, because all these things will not be possible if we don't find critical minerals in India, because we are heavily dependent on China. But the government of India is doing a lot in this field through National Critical Health Mission. In this budget also, you would have read that 4 critical mineral corridors have been also announced, like Andhra Pradesh, Odisha, Kerala, and Tamil Nadu, where critical minerals will be found, discovered, and mined, so that those can be used in semiconductors, in integrated circuits, in EVs, solar panels, so that we can achieve the dream of Atmanirbhar Bharat. And this is and all these things will empower, because when all the critical mineral mining will be done, the whole ecosystem will develop, economic ecosystem will develop, people will be having their capacity building, will find jobs, economic growth will be there among the rural communities and local communities. So these things are doing a lot of wonders to the people, to the communities. And then there is a very ambitious scheme of Government of India, Mission Karmyogi. Some of you might have heard about that, or universities. Some of you might have participated in Rashtriya Karmyogi Jan Seva program also. Mission Karmyogi is a program of capacity building of government officials. Earlier, what was happening that all the trainings were cornered by top level officers only, because offline training was there. But through Mission Karmyogi and IGOT platform, that is integrated government online training, so lower level officials are also being trained. They are imparted capacity building programs so that the soft skills like handling with people, citizen-centric governance, empathy, sympathy, teamwork, team building can be developed among those also. Because now it is a concept of from chairman to line man. Everybody should be trained. And Mission Karmyogi. Mission Karmyogi is a program of Department of Personal and Training, Government of India, and so far, like postmen, Gramin Dak Sevaks, or TTEs in railways, Anganwadis, and other, yes, Sevottam also, so Sevottam model is also there. That is a model of DARPG, Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances. Sevottam is there. So through this, the lower level government officials are also being empowered, being imparted capacity building programs, because that is very necessary, because they are the persons who deal with or who interact with the local population, citizens. Because in private sector, when we talk, it is B2C, that is business to customer. But in government sector, it is G2C, that is government to citizen. Because citizen is the customer for the government, and citizen-centric governance is the aim of the government to provide the public service delivery very efficiently, very effectively, citizen-centric governance very effectively, efficiently. And for this, the capacity building of lower level officials are so necessary, because every time in rural areas, people deal with Anganwadi workers, ASHA workers, then ANM workers, and they are also being provided capacity building programs. There are institutions all over India, like SRDs, you can say, State Institute of Rural Developments. And every district, they are having District Institute of Rural Developments, where Anganwadi workers, Disha workers, ASHA workers, all those are being provided capacity building program. Jal Jeevan Mission, I am coming. So all in all these programs like rural development programs, those are being imparted the capacity building programs so that they can effectively deal with or interact with the citizens at local level. They can provide the service efficiently and effectively, because empathy is the key word now. Because when some civil servant is, you can say, like a doctor, because when a doctor just listens to the patient, then 50% of the problem of the patient is gone. So the government officials are like doctors. They have to interact with empathy with the local population. They have to interact sympathetically with the population so that they can listen to their problems and they can rectify their problems. And that's why this capacity building program for lower level government officials are very necessary. Now coming to some of the key areas that how it can be done if we don't provide the tools for this capacity building, like say water, electricity, all these things are so necessary. And water, we have been seeing the report about the water, that groundwater situation is so bad now in India. India is a water stressed country. In North, we are having some more water, but two-thirds of India is water stressed. And probably you might have seen one report in the newspaper of nature sustainability report that was covered there, that 5 of our mega cities, that is New Delhi, Mumbai, Bengaluru, Chennai, and Kolkata, are sinking. They are sinking to the tune of 4 millimeters per year or more. In fact, some of the areas in Delhi NCR, like Bijwasan or Faridabad or Ghaziabad, are sinking to the tune of 20 millimeters to 38 millimeters per year. And why? Due to excessive groundwater extraction. And due to excessive groundwater extraction, the rocks, which are porous rocks holding the water underground, are being punctured. And so land is subsiding above. And that's why all our critical infrastructure like metros, roads, bridges, houses, everything is at risk now. And so that's why water has become so necessary, so important. Optimum use of water, reduce the use of water, conserve water, rainwater harvesting, then the Amrit Sarovar Yojana of government, and above all, Jal Jeevan Mission of government of India. Jal Jeevan Mission is running all over India, and it has provided the pipe drinking water facility to 15.75 crore of rural household nowadays. That is 75% of rural household. And of course, work needs to be done because and in this field, capacity building is so necessary for rural population and local communities in case of water harvesting. Atal Bhujal Yojana was earlier there, Ashish is saying, but Atal Bhujal Yojana is now closed. But then there is Amrit Sarovar scheme for rainwater harvesting. Then watershed development component is there, WDC. Watershed development program is the program of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana. And in WDC too, 10 states are being covered, where water conservation, soil conservation, community awareness, spring shed development, and empowering the local communities through allied services, not only agriculture. To reduce dependence on agriculture, the allied services are being encouraged, like animal husbandry, dairying, fishing, all these things. And capacity building is done in all these fields of the rural population, local population. There is the Amrit scheme and Jal Jeevan Mission urban in the field of, urban areas also, where all this water conservation and water optimization schemes are going on. Because water is so necessary, so essential for our life. We all know about that 71% of earth is water, but then only 3% of that is drinkable, is potable. But of that 3%, 66% is locked. Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, WDC is the part of Pradhan Mantri Krishi Yojana that I was dealing with that. And out of that 3% of fresh water, around two-thirds is locked in polar ice caps, then glaciers and etc. So very small, minuscule proportion is available for us because 71% earth is ocean, water, but then that is water is saline. And can you drink that saline water? In fact, I remember one share of Rahat Indori in this, that मैंने अपनी खुश्क आंखों से लहू छलका दिया, मैंने अपनी खुश्क आंखों से लहू छलका दिया, एक समंदर कह रहा था मुझको पानी चाहिए, एक समंदर कह रहा था मुझको पानी चाहिए. Because even an ocean cannot drink its own water. So that's why water is so important. And capacity building in the field of water conservation, new innovative irrigation techniques like drip and sprinkle irrigation, hydroponics, that requires very less amount of water. All these things are so necessary, and government is doing a lot in this field in the water sector, so that we can be not running short of water. And coupled with that, there is energy and electricity. Because earlier our rural household, local communities were devoid of electricity, but now almost 100% of rural India is electrified. Electricity is being supplied, but then there is risk. Like you have read the news of this just commenced Iran and Israel war. So now this petroleum products import will be at risk there. But then India is progressing very fast as far as renewable energy is concerned. And out of the 520 gigawatt installed capacity, India has now more than 50%. That is around 260 gigawatts installed capacity of non-fossil fuel. Out of that, around 140 gigawatts is solar energy, 54.67 gigawatts is wind energy, around 54 gigawatt is hydroelectricity, then around 8.5 gigawatts of nuclear energy, green hydrogen is there. All these things are supplying India with tremendous amount of energy now. And so that we should not feel the pinch of energy. And coupled with those, there are so many government schemes like PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. And out of that PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana, so far around 24 lakh households, rural households are also there, that have been electrified through PM Surya Ghar Muft Bijli Yojana. And around 7 gigawatts of energy has been installed on the rooftops of rural and urban India both. Then there is PM Kusum scheme, that is Pradhan Mantri Kisan Urja Suraksha Evam Utthan Mahabhiyan scheme. That is for pumps, electrical pumps and allied services in the farm sector. and farmers are benefit a lot from that PM Kusum scheme. Then there is Ujala scheme. Probably you would have heard about Ujala scheme, that is supplying the LED bulbs in the rural and local communities. Around 36 crore of LED bulbs have so far been distributed through that. So in this field of energy, we are progressing very fast, and we are in fact in the run for the net zero 2070 also. When carbon emission, we are trying to become net zero, and we are reducing dependence on thermal power like coal or petroleum products, so that we can be Atmanirbhar in the energy field. And it is not only energy security but energy sovereignty, and capacity building in this field are being done through awareness programs about PM Surya Ghar Bijli Yojana or PM Kusum Yojana. And there have been examples that how these schemes have changed the livelihood of the people. Like you should read about the Mupandal case study. Mupandal is a wind farm in Tamil Nadu, in Kanyakumari district and Madurai district. It is around, say, 1500 megawatt of wind power capacity. And when it started in the 1990s, the farmers and local communities were so opposed to that our lands are being acquired and we are not getting the benefits. But now there has been a case study that since 1990s, the average income of the local community there has increased 8 times because of this generation of wind power. And wind power is being exported to nearby areas, Puducherry, other districts, and farmers are now willingly giving their land for installation of wind power and these windmills. So all these things are doing a lot of great wonders as far as remote India is concerned, rural India is concerned, and local population is concerned. And coming to that, now women empowerment, because Ministry of WCD is there, women and child development ministry, which has so many schemes for that. But I would now say that it is not the age of women empowerment. Women empowerment or women emancipation is are the words of the bygone era. Now it is the age of women-led development. We have seen seen in the field of rural areas, that is SHG, self-help groups. Those are communities of women leaders. Around 10 crore women of rural households are enrolled in self-help groups. In this budget also, our finance minister announced about She Mart, that is for women only mart. Then probably you should see the examples of the rural panchayat. There are panchayat leaders in the women field also. There is in Rajasthan, there is Soda Gram Panchayat, where Chhavi Rajawat is the sarpanch there. And Chhavi Rajawat has revolutionized the whole Soda Gram Panchayat by connecting it to internet, broadband, rural livelihood schemes, and all these things. There is a Gram Panchayat in Odisha, Mukundpur Patna. In Mukundpur Patna, when you go there, earlier Mukundpur Patna 20 years back was such a dilapidated estate. But then one woman sarpanch was elected there, and now she has redefined the whole area by developing a small temple there, Mata Arni Devi temple, and generating livelihood scheme, rural own source revenue from that area, and the lives of the communities have changed now. So we can say that all these things, empowerment schemes or rural capacity building schemes, government of India or state governments have been able to empower the capacities, able to provide say last mile connectivity to the rural population, to the local and marginalized population. Of course, a lot has to be done, but we are on the right path, I must say. Because if we want to be Atmanirbhar, if we want to be Viksit, if we want to be strong, then we have to do that. I would like, it is 12:46 already, so we should keep some time for question answer sessions also. So I would like to conclude with one share for all of you, that खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना, खुदी को कर बुलंद इतना कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है, कि हर तकदीर से पहले खुदा बंदे से खुद पूछे बता तेरी रजा क्या है. So thank you, friends. Thank you very much. I am open to any question. I am here. I would love to interact with you. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Professor Ranjan, for that insightful session. Now, I would like to open the floor for questions. Please raise your virtual hands and go in the sequence. You can unmute yourself and ask the questions. So, the floor is yours, participants. Before that, if everybody can switch on their cameras once, we'll take a group photograph and then we can go ahead with the questions. Is that okay?
Definitely, definitely. We should.
Uh, Together board. Everybody, please switch on your cameras for a bit. So we'll take a picture quickly, quickly. I still see a lot of blocks. One more.
Friends, switch on your camera, please. Don't worry, today is Sunday. We all know that you are in comfortable position.
Okay. Thank you so much. Bharti, you can please go ahead.
A very good afternoon, sir. Thank you for such an insightful session. My question is you talked about so many schemes and the capacity building that government has ensured that these schemes reach the last mile, like to the rural, this thing also. I would focus mostly on the digital schemes. Like I believe for digital schemes to actually work on ground, digital literacy is also equally important of those beneficiaries. Like they should be that like their capacity should be built so that they can intake such digital schemes. So like even our statistics support that there is a lot of divide in the digital literacy, like even with respect to genders, with respect to rural, urban, everything. So what are your views, like how we can empower the beneficiaries and how we can make more states digitally literate, just like Kerala announced itself as a completely digitally literate state? Thank you.
So, Bharti, where do you study? What is your institution and which trade or branch you are there?
Yeah, I'm studying Masters in Public Policy from OP Jindal Global University.
Okay, okay, great. So, actually, what is happening that the states which are, say, very literate stage like Kerala or Mizoram, they are, say, ahead in the digital literacy also. So, it is a symbiotic relationship between both of these. But then state governments also and government of India also is trying their best to provide digital literacy. We have been seeing all these reports about the cyber threats, cyber fraud, cyber crimes, and digital arrest things of senior citizens. Then we can ward off all these threats through digital literacy only. And like PMG Disha is there, Pradhan Mantri Gramin Digital Saksharta Abhiyan, and which has now onboarded around 6.39 crore of rural population in that. And through this type of schemes or through expanding the internet connectivity through BharatNet. BharatNet is an initiative of Ministry of Telecommunication. We have been connecting all these gram panchayats also. There are, I think, around 2.25 lakh gram panchayats have been connected, integrated through BharatNet, and around 12 lakh rural households and around 1.04 lakh Wi-Fi spots have also been created through BharatNet. So in schools also, and now National Education Policy also talks about incorporating this digital literacy things in the school level also, internet and computer things at the school curriculum itself, so that children can be digitally aware since the beginning. And of course, as far as say senior citizens or adult population is concerned, it can be made through awareness programs, which RBI is also doing, Government of India is also doing, and there is a need to do this, say in the remote areas and where people are not that aware, like say for the earlier Naxal affected areas or hill areas. Those are some of the areas which are so far left behind. But then this kind of awareness is being created, and we are moving fast. State governments are also doing their best for these things, but then these things take some time. Because it is not a say 1 day affair, because you have to give time, because literacy or digital literacy and this awareness, this is a change of mindset, you can say. Because what happened when internet came, so the population at that time also was not very savvy. When smartphones came, then also people were hesitant to take. But now 130 crores smartphones are there in India, and even the elder generation is also using smartphones without fear. So you have to give some time, but gradually it is happening. I would like to conclude with one Sanskrit shlok for you, that alpanam api vastunam sahati karya sadhike, alpanam api vastunam sahati karya sadhike, trinair gunatva mapanner badhyante matadantira. Like small things, if done in a united and well planned manner, can do wonderful things. Like a rope made of hay sticks can tame a mad elephant also. Like छोटी छोटी चीजें अगर यूनाइटेड मैनर में, प्लांट मैनर में की जाए, तो बहुत ग्रेट थिंग्स कर सकती हैं। जैसे कि एक घास फूस से बनी हुई रस्सी जो है, वो एक पागल हाथी को भी बांध लेती है। So that's why every time it is not that a revolution is required. Like Gen Z is very obsessed with the revolution word, but we can see what has happened in Sri Lanka or Nepal or Bangladesh. Revolution has happened, but what after that? Burning the public property, damaging the roads, infrastructures. Is it revolution? With the taxpayer money has been burned now. So and they are at crossroads. Nothing is being happening. But even in a gentle way, you can shake the world, you can move the world. So I think I have answered your question.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Let anyone next? Achal.
Uh,
Yes, Achal.
Good afternoon, sir, and thank you for such an insightful presentation.
Thank
Am I
you.
audible?
Yeah, audible. Yes.
Sir,
Just
as I
introduce yourself. Where are you studying, and which branch you are studying?
yes, I'm a PhD research scholar in Punjab University Department of Political Science, and I'm working on
Department of
forest
Political
rights.
Science. Political Science is there, or
Yes.
Department of Public Administration?
No, sir, Department of Political Science is there.
Acha,
Arts
Political
group 4.
Science. Oh, because we deal with the Department of Public Administration there.
Yes, sir, I know that.
Yeah. Okay. Please ask.
So, sir, as I wrote in the chat box also regarding the Jal Jeevan Mission, as I was on the field work and I visited a village called Kolang in Lahore. It's ahead of Kelang, main district headquarters of Lahore Spiti.
Mhm.
So there I myself saw how the pipes were just laid open, and it was marked as Jal Jeevan Mission Adharit, matlab ki it was said that the tap water is being provided here according to Jal Jeevan Mission, but only the lead pipes were open and there was no tap water provided, and only like the village had only 9 households, and they were still struggling with the water crisis ongoing there.
Mhm.
So,
Mhm.
what is the accountability happening on ground? There's no accountability, according to me. Thank you.
Actually, see, this is a problem in Jal Jeevan Mission also. Lahore is a very remote area. Actually, it is after Atal Tunnel or say Rohtang Pass, and even monsoon cannot reach there. So that's why providing services is a very tough task there. But then this is the duty of the government. This is the duty of the government officials to provide the services there. Of course, this is taking time, but there are practical constraints also, like the reach, providing resources there. And Lahore Spiti is practically closed, say, for 8 months of the year. Only open for say 3, 4 months or 5 months of the year. So there are many problems, but it is not that the government is not doing. Lahore Spiti has come in focus in a very short while ago, and Himachal Pradesh government is also doing their bit to provide services there. And now Atal Tunnel has been made now, so the accessibility has increased for Lahore and Spiti. So now it will be easier to provide services there. And I think in a short span of time, probably you have faced the problem, but in a short span of time, the problems will be gone, because I mentioned about a scheme that is VVP, Vibrant Villages Program. Probably you would have heard about the scheme. That is the saturation scheme in the border areas. And not only Jal Jeevan Mission, but Vibrant Villages Program is also doing a lot of wonders in the border areas. And it is about that you told that only 9 households are there in Lahore, in that village. And it is the VVP program is addressing that problem also, so that people should not out migrate. People should be provided with all the facilities there. And it is a very ambitious program. And through VVP, these things are done. And Government of India is directly involved. Ministry of Home Affairs is directly involved in VVP program, and it is providing all the services through the help of paramilitary forces, through the army people. And I think in a short span of time, this problem of accessibility and remote problem will be taken care of. But you will have to give some time, because as we know that the accessibility is very tough, very difficult as far as those areas are concerned.
But my question was that Jal Jeevan Mission has already reached it, and the case has been closed, and it has been marked that the tap water is coming, but only the open pipe sources are seen. So it is
No, no,
wrong on the ground.
but then that it is the duty of the people like you or the population there
Thank you.
to flag this problem, that water is not being supplied, water is not coming. Because if we don't flag these problems, then how can these problems be rectified? Can be taken care of? So it is the duty of the people also to flag these problems, that the pipeline has been provided, but tap water is not coming. So if they flag these problems, if they put this problem, so that problem will be taken care of. But they have to be a little more proactive also in this direction.
Yes, sir. They have actually flagged it, but let's see what will happen. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. Thank you. I think Navneet is raising his hand.
Yeah, perhaps I thought I'd qualify that a little more. I used to work with the Jal Jeevan Mission chair at IIM Bangalore quite recently, and we had similar sort of issues. Some in some places, even though the dashboard and all says that uh, Jal Jeevan Mission has reached and water supply has reached, it was not really the case. But what I think what that's a digital transformation element also, accountability. What has sort of happened is everything is there on the dashboard, and it's actually very easy to go there and flag sort of issues. You don't have to go to the panchayat office, or you don't have to go to the implementation, whoever is responsible for implementation there, the panchayat engineer or somebody, where the general problems of हाँ हम कम कर देंगे बाद में कर देंगे, that sort of thing comes. So you flag it on the dashboard, it sort of goes to the state representative, and then easier action or faster action could be taken. So this could be a redressal mechanism that could also be thought of. I just wanted to add that.
There are the dashboards or portals for grievance redressal systems also. Like CP Gram is for Government of India. Likewise, the state governments have all their dashboards or portal for citizens' grievances, and citizens can flag their grievances in that dashboard, and that reaches directly to the Chief Minister's Secretariat. And if people can flag that, so it will be taken care of. But then in a democracy, people should also be proactive a little. Yeah, Meher Ali, I think, flagged his hand. Meher, are you there?
So I think that there's a bunch of other people before me.
Yeah, Shubhangi can go ahead, and then Meher can go.
Shubhangi, yes.
Good afternoon, sir. This is Shubhangi. Sir, I'm a master's student of political science in Dr. B.R. Ambedkar University, Delhi.
Okay.
So, first of all, thank you so much for this session. It was really enlightening. Sorry. So
Thank
my
you.
question is that just now we discussed about all of this that if we see that some scheme is sort of facing some restriction or problems, then we should probably flag it using these digital platforms that the government has provided us. But so I want to ask that should capacity building for the last mile delivery of services be a little bit towards the institutional reform and the behavioral reform thing in administration than just digitalizing things, because in areas that are digitally marginalized, it may cause backlogs in administrative work. So what is your take on that, sir?
Yeah, sure. It is a very great question, Shubhangi. Actually, I have mentioned about that also in my address. One program about Mission Karmyogi. Probably you would have listened to that. And Mission Karmyogi is there for capacity building of all government officials and not only top government officials. And there is IGOT platform, Integrated Government Online Training Portal, and Rashtriya Jan Seva Karmyogi program in that. And through that program, with the local level civil servants, local level government officials, because we are a big bureaucracy. You cannot imagine the size of India's government officials. It is 2.7 crore. If you take on account all the say central government civil servants, IS, IPS officers, state government civil servants, local level officials like postmen or say TT in the railways and all this, so the size becomes 2.7 crore, and 2.7 crore is the may not be the population of most of the countries in the world also. It is a massive task. But then Mission Karmyogi is trying to address that, trying to build the capacity among the local level civil servants, like say Gramin Dak Sevaks or postmen or peons or say TTEs, to change their say behavioral capacities. Because when you interact with citizens, so emotional intelligence is very much required. Like you should have an attitude of sympathy, empathy towards the citizens, because you are in the business of providing citizen-centric governance. And that's why you should treat the citizens well. And for government, citizen is the customer and customer is the king. And that's why so many programs have been done for on massive scale for Gramin Dak Sevaks or TTEs in the Indian Railways, because you now notice a behavioral change in the civil services at lower level. And this is for say like synergy, sympathy, empathy, team building, leadership qualities, all these things, so that their behavioral attitudes should change, because it is the mindset that has to be changed. Because earlier we had the colonial mindset, and we have to change that mindset. And through Mission Karmyogi program, government is trying to address that. But then again, you have to give some time, because all the problems of the past will not go away in a single night. So it will take some time, but I think slowly things are moving fast. Because if you take the data, like at the there are so many naysayers who say that nothing has been done in India, nothing is going on in India. But then if it is true, then how at the time of independence we had a life expectancy of 32 years, but now we have a life expectancy of 70 years. So how this has happened? At the time of independence, our literacy rate was around 13%, but now our literacy rate is around 70%. So things have changed. Things have gradually changed, and things are moving very fast now. And people like you are Gen Z, you will come into civil services later on also. Maybe if you aspire to be a civil servant, then you will see the ground situation that it takes a lot of effort to change the mindset of the people, to change the things. It is not that easy. But then we should be continuously striving for change, because change is the only constant. So, anyone else? Meher flagged his hand.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Sir, I'm Meher. I graduated from Delhi School of Economics in MA Sociology. So my question is, while we emphasize on the capacity building at the local level, um, are we overlooking, capacity building at a higher level, in the sense that, the bureaucracy, the conception that our bureaucracy is bloated is largely a myth, right? There's so many literature around it. There's lot of inefficiency, a lot of capacity lacking, all of that. So while this capacity building is trickling down to the local level, is there a huge gap when it comes to the higher bureaucratic level in terms of hiring, capacity building, efficiency building, all of that? So how are we looking at that?
So, Meher, I would like to give one, two examples for that. Like, remember the COVID time when COVID-19 happened. So, probably you would be seeing the TV also. So, who was working at the time of COVID-19? All the private sector was closed. The people in the government services, the government officers, government doctors, government nurses, government hospitals, everyone was working. The district administration, IAS, IPS, DMs, development officers, everyone was working 24 by 7 round the clock. And private sector people were making TikToks, like making cuisines. किसी ने गाजर का हलवा बनाया है, किसी ने ये बनाया है, तो उसको फेसबुक पे डाल रहे हैं, उसको टिकटॉक पे डाल रहे हैं. So private sector was doing that, and it was the government who was working, which was working. So this is our capacity, that government works in a crisis situation very well, and capacity development, capacity building has been there since the past also, and till now higher level of officers have benefited through capacity building, because we have produced some of the great leaders, some of the great managers as far as civil services is concerned. Because when you are out of civil services, out of government domain, then it is very easy to abuse the government. That government is doing nothing. सरकार तो बिल्कुल काम ही नहीं कर रही है. But who warded off the COVID-19 pandemic? Due to this government effort, probably public memory is very short, but you would have remembered two people who were coming regularly on TV. Punya Salila Srivastav, who was an IAS officer, Additional Secretary Health at that time, and Love Agrawal, who was Joint Secretary Health at that time. Both of them regularly came to TV at 4 p.m. every day to brief the whole nation about what is happening for COVID-19. And in the process, Love Agrawal interacted COVID 3 times himself. 3 बार उसको COVID खुद हुआ, Love Agrawal को. But public memory is very short. So this is the COVID situation where government was working alone. Now I will give you one more example about the Indian elections. Indian elections is called the festival of the Indian democracy. We are the largest democracy in the world. We have 97 crores of voters. 97 crore is the population, whole population of only one country, China, which is above that. 97 crore is not the population of any of the countries in the world also, but we have the electorate size of 97 crores. And when we hold elections, not even a single election has gone wrong in India. We have so far held 18 Lok Sabha elections. Leave aside the countless number of Vidhan Sabha elections or local body elections like municipal corporations, panchayats. Only I am talking about Lok Sabha elections. So 18 Lok Sabha elections have been held, but we never had a situation like Capitol Hill situation. What happened on 6 January 2021 at Washington, D.C., USA, when Trump lost the 2020 elections, and people jumped at Capitol Hill, the seat of power in Washington, D.C. USA says that it is the most enlightening democracy in the world, and that situation happened in USA itself. But has this situation ever happened in India? Elections have been held and the transition of power is so smooth in India. Why it is so smooth? Because it is the duty of the opposition to raise the concerns about election. But in the heart of the hearts, they also know that elections in India are largely free and fair. But who makes this election largely free and fair? It is the civil services. It is the government officers, government servants who work round the clock, from assembling the EVM, assembling the polling parties, sending the polling parties to the remote areas. Everywhere, it is the government who works to make these elections highly successful and hugely successful. So these are some of the finer points of Indian democracy. And as far as higher civil services, higher bureaucracy is concerned, they have been getting chance of capacity building every now and then. They have been getting capacity building programs in the best of the institutes in the world. But so far, the lower civil services or lower bureaucracy were left out. They were not getting the chance of capacity building. But through Mission Karmyogi and IGOT program, now they are also getting the chance for capacity building. So this is the case. I think I am clear. I have answered your question.
Yes, sir. Could you also give some insights, or how do we respond, to the argument that the bureaucrats are understaffed largely? There are statistics saying that there is
We
only
are we are
thousand
we are
six.
understaffed. Yes, yes, you are very much right. We are understaffed. If you compare to the most developed economies or countries in the world, Sweden has 58 civil servants per thousand of population. USA has 47 civil servants per thousand of population, but we are having only 21 civil servants per thousand of population. So we are understaffed as far as government is concerned. But then government has so many constraints also because we are a welfare state. We are not an autocratic state, and government has so much to spend on public welfare program, social welfare program, and for development of the country. So that's why the salaries, perks, and all these things also matter. So we cannot increase the size of the bureaucracy overnight. So that's why we have to make sure that we can do our best in the best available civil services what we have. And so there should be an increase in the size of civil services, and government is working on that also. But let's see what has happened, what is happening in future.
Thank you, sir.
Yeah, Achal, you again raised your hand.
Uh, yes, sir. I have one more question, and it is regarding what me and my sibling is working on, like the Swachh Bharat mission, and now the new guidelines have also come in. So, how can we make sure that it is implemented in our city? I belong from Kullu, and there's a huge garbage issue going on. Everywhere I go, there is garbage.
You
So,
belong to
I
you
have
you
put
belong to
Kullu, Himachal Pradesh.
Kulu, Himachal Pradesh. Okay, okay, okay. So
Yes, sir.
actually, see, there are so many reasons for this huge amount of garbage, like unabated tourism, and
Yes, sir.
and this tourism is not only being encouraged only by the governments, state government or central government, but this tourism is encouraged by the local population also because they are getting their livelihood, they are getting their economic growth with the help of this tourism. So, but then there are so many vulnerabilities also, like ecosystem vulnerability, disasters which are happening. So there are problems, but we have to build a balance between this unabated tourism and this garbage there. And we have to revive our ecosystem. So it is a wider question. And now about this garbage, actually, in the modern times, this garbage is not considered waste. There has come a waste to wealth concept that there are so many best practices or examples in India also. Like if you take the example of Nagpur,
Second.
Nagpur is earning rupees 500 crores from its waste, which is being generated annually. It is supplying water through sewage treatment plants to industrial areas and earning around 200 crores rupees per year. Then it is converting its garbage into CNG, bio CNG, and running the gensets inside the Nagpur from that. So we have to think about utilizing that garbage in a better way so that the ecosystem should not also be disturbed, and we can generate our resources. We can convert our waste into wealth through that, through supplying water, drinking water, irrigation water. At least irrigation water can be supplied through the treatment of the wastewater there. And I have told about Nagpur, there is Surat, there is Lucknow, who has done so good in this field. So I think the local population, local government should take care about that. And there has been a rising concern about this waste problem, and people are now increasingly thinking about converting this waste into wealth. And things are going on. There has been concept of 3 Rs: reduce, recycle, reuse. Like reduce the use of resources, recycle them, and reuse them. So we will have to do all these things, and local populations should also cooperate in these matters, because only government cannot do that. देखो what happens that everybody thinks, सब लोग सोचते हैं कि हाँ भगत सिंह पैदा हो लेकिन पड़ोसी के घर में, ठीक है. सो वी हैव टू बी अवेयर अबाउट दैट कि अपना कूड़ा घर से निकाल के और रोड पे लगा देते हैं. दिस इज ऑल्सो नॉट राइट. सो
Yes, sir, you're right.
people should introspect also that everything cannot be done by the government. When we go out in the road, on the road, we do the minor irrigation. रोड पे हम लोग थूकते चलते हैं, अपना कूड़ा निकाल के कुछ खाते हैं, रोड पे फेंक देते हैं. So we should take care of all these habits also. When we go to the foreign countries, we don't do that. Even if we eat a chocolate, we put the wrapper in the pocket so that whenever we get a dustbin, we will throw that. But in India, what we do? We just throw it away on the road. So it is about the change of mindset. We should introspect also that everything government cannot do. And it is not right also to blame each and everything on government.
Sir, but my question was that the mission which government has been doing, that Swachh Bharat mission, it has not been taking place itself. So how do we make sure that district government like
Then
implies
again
it?
the same thing is there, that if the government is at fault, then you should flag this through the state government grievance portal. You should flag this to the authorities.
Right.
And but then the people should also do their bit to clean the environment. People should also be, because there have been community awareness programs. There have been the examples, like say the example of Meghalaya. There is the cleanest village in Asia, Maulinong. Have you heard about Maulinong? Maulinong is the cleanest village in Asia, where the people themselves ensure that no people of that village also, and no outside tourist can litter there, can throw away the garbage there, can throw away the waste there. If they do, then the village council fines them. And there are say locally made bamboo dustbins are there everywhere. They should throw all these things in the dustbin. So our community awareness program should be there. Communities themselves should realize that and make the efforts also about that. Because I think there may be some local level municipal committee also should be there, or village panchayat should also be there in Kulu. So they should be flagged about that, and they should make aware the local people to clean the environment, to prevent the others of littering there.
Sir, I have flagged the issue many times, but nothing is happening. And I don't know, we don't have the mechanism to dispose of the waste. Even if we take out the cleanliness, like drive and all, where do the waste goes? How do we dispose it? So I think it is a district administration issue because they're not bringing in the plan to dispose the waste. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Mujur. Anyone else? Anyone?
Are there any more
So I
questions?
think,
Yeah. I don't think there are. Let me just check the chat once, sir.
okay, no issues about that. So I think it is 1:20 also, and the session has gone about 1 hour 30 minutes. So
Yes.
it has been really entertaining and enlightening to interact all of you friends. So I have learned a lot from this session with all of you. Thank you very much. And we will see sometimes again.
Certainly, sir.
Thank you, sir.
On behalf of Think India and all the participants, I extend my heartfelt thank you to Amitabh Ranjan ji for taking this insightful session. Hope to interact with you sometime soon, and thank you once again.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Thank you. All the best. All the best, everyone. Bye.